Lights on. Call this meeting to order. Determine there's a quorum present. We have Commissioner Wardlaw, Commissioner Vasquez, Commissioner Garcia, Commissioner Flores, and myself. We have a quorum. If y'all will please rise, stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Commissioner Garcia, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you will give me 1 minute. It's just easier. We're going to cheat. Sorry about that. That way we can all read it. That'll work. There you go.
Honor and protect the flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank y'all. Citizens' comments? I have none. There is none. 7, approving monthly reports from elected officials. Judge. Judge, 5, yeah. 5. Okay, I'm sorry. That's a number written next to it. Item 5. Motion to approve. Okay.
Second that motion.
Have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second, Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. So I've already skipped my one item for the meeting then, because I'm probably done at the last 20 minutes. And you didn't catch it, did you? Okay. Next time? Next time. That work. Item 7, approving monthly report from elected officials. Have a motion, Commissioner Flores.
Second.
Commissioner Garcia. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 9, discussion possible action. Have a motion, Commissioner Flores. Second, Commissioner Vasquez. Everyone's favor. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 10, discussion possible action on certification of revenue. We have none.
We're actually going to have one on item 47.
Okay. On item what? On item 10?
47.
47? Okay. We'll move to item 47, discussion possible action for food funding from available appropriations for 100% travel reimbursement for purchasing agent Melissa Vasquez and a designee to travel to Las Vegas to attend the 2025, is it NASPO, NASPO, what's it stand for? Who knows?
National Association of State Procurement Officials.
Thank you. Conference for procurement officials at the state, counties, city. Educational level of government funding requested is for airport parking, mileage, and meals. All this is to be able to pay for it in order to move forward, but at the end of the day, we are going to get reimbursed because you have been awarded a grant. Motion to approve, Judge. Out of what funds do you want?
We're just going to go and we'll certify the revenue and we'll just increase her outlay or her appropriations.
Okay, so the motion be certified revenue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that'll work. Is that part of your motion? I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second, Commissioner Vasquez. And congratulations, pretty impressive, that you got awarded sort of like a full ride. Yeah, thank you so much.
That'll be Mike and I going.
Okay, all right. That'll work. Again, congratulations, thank you, proud of you. Have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second, Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0.
And sorry, Judge,
No,
there was
go ahead.
2 budget adjustments, item 12 and item 51, but we can get to those later, but just so that it's done.
Okay. You want to get to it later? You want to do it now while you're standing?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. What items were they again?
12 and 51.
Okay. Item 12, discussion possible action for board to approve.
Okay, where would we like it?
Funds. We've
That's what
talked
we're
about.
yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, we can get it contingency, right? I mean,
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
the question was, he's an OLS employee.
yes.
So the question that I'd asked was, can we get it out of OLS? Then the answer was, it came back that we already have a grant for vests and they probably weren't gonna allow it. But the grant for vests or out of sheriff's office had nothing to do with OLS. So could we first try out of OLS, and if that doesn't work, come back and take it out?
Ask for an adjustment.
We can try, definitely.
Motion, if we take it out of OLS first, if not, then contingency, like you said, sir.
Yes, sir.
Second that.
Have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Vasquez. Are there any questions? No, go ahead. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 51, discussion possible action to approve the purchase of equipment and software for an access control system for the CAD building. Installation of the system will be done by our IT department. An $11,741.14 budget adjustment required from general capital computers to IT capital. He has the money within the fund. Go ahead.
Within the general capital, between the two line items that was given to him, yes.
Yes.
And we'll split it.
Make a motion.
It'll be good.
Mr. Judge.
I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez. I have a second, Commissioner Flores. These funds right here, because of the training that his department has received, this is something that we're probably going to start with all the buildings to try to get to, where we're actually doing the work, buying the equipment ourselves and doing the work in-house.
Mhm.
And this would be a good place to start because it's right there. It's with y'all. I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Since we're already skipping everywhere, we'll move to item 26, because Carlos is here and he's gonna have to be somewhere here in a minute. Let me get to it. We'll do item 26, 27, and 28. That way, in case you'll have questions, Carlos is here to answer. Item 26, discussion possible action to rescind order 24-867 in regards to discontinuing River Road located in precinct 1. A motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion?
Yes, sir.
Motion, Commissioner Wardlaw. Second?
Second, Judge.
Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 27, discussion possible action to rename the county road, section of River Road to Mata Lane. This is, from the intersection of Arbor Avenue to Mata Lane. John? Sure.
We just get a motion to discuss and we can discuss it, so we'll move forward. Right now, to actually rename the road, we need to adopt some sort of renaming policy and procedure. That would be under Transportation Code 251-013. So at this moment, we've got a working document, but we aren't in the position to adopt an actual policy. So at this juncture, I'd say we're just going to either table it and we'll bring it back later. And then once we have,
Hold table, Judge.
Second.
Or did you want to discuss it?
we can discuss further.
Yeah, can both of y'all just, withdraw your motions to table that way? Yeah, and that way we have a plan.
Mhm.
I know that, you've been in discussions with Commissioner Wardlaw and Carlos and Troy
Yeah.
and Elizabeth on how to get this done. But just for the court, I mean, some of the concerns that I had was to make sure that we set something in place in order to, not only do we post it, but also that we give notice to the individuals that their land or their property abuts to that road that we're gonna change. I'm not so much concerned about the 200 foot as some of the other orders require, but at least the people that their lots are up next to whatever street that we're gonna change the name on, send out a letter to them. And I think usually it's like a 30-day notice on some of the other things.
And that's something that, after I touch base with each of the commissioners and we all come to some sort of understanding of what the policy wants to be, that would be really smart to include. I think the community input is going to be really vital because we'll have to have them, if we do rename a road and if we do end up connecting roads to other county roads, then we do run into possible issues, which we've discussed with Troy about having to renumber street numbers. And that's where I think we need people to be involved.
Well, like you said, even if we need to bring it back to the court, like you said it earlier or yesterday, it's a living document. So, I mean, it's going to be changing as we go, but those would be some of the changes that I'd like to see, or not changes, but some of the stuff included in this.
Yes, Judge. And I would like to have a solid draft going into one of our final, put it on as an agenda item for a meeting, and then we could have a public comment. If we'll put it on as supporting documentation, and if they want to come in and talk about it, we can have everyone.
One of the things also, John, that we haven't, the way our meetings are set up, I guess the question that I had was, it's usually, if we give 30 days, is it okay if our public hearing is longer than 30 days, but not shorter than the 30 days, if that makes any sense? That
Yes.
way we can actually hit a meeting, and we're not sitting here at 5:30 in the afternoon or 6 o'clock and just waiting for somebody to show up. We actually put it in a.
Yes, Judge, we
schedule
actually,
For one of the meetings.
if we're going to adopt 30 days, we're actually going above what the statutory requirement is. Yeah.
Okay. Y'all have any other questions, for John or anybody? No, good? Okay. Don't leave, we got one more. Discussion possible action, item 28, discussion possible, no action was taken on item 27. Okay, sorry. Item 28, discussion possible action on extending Mata Lane to Parkway Street in precinct 1. Do we need to give him authority just to begin to look, or what would be the proper procedure?
We need to give Commissioner Wardlaw authority to approach the property owner at the end of Mata Lane to see if we can acquire that last portion. So it'd just be authority to discuss with the property owners.
And the reasoning, Commissioner Wardlaw wants this, just for fire exit and be able to get in and get out. That way, we're not going down there and can't really get in, and then if something goes south, we really can't get out.
Yes.
And be able to get emergency vehicles down there sooner.
Mhm.
I'll entertain a motion to give Commissioner Wardlaw. A motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Okay. Again. There was one more. We'll take care of, thank you, sir. We'll take care, that's your check. Item 40, we're gonna take care of Carlos' stuff that way, in case he needs to leave. Item 40, discussion possible action on authorizing Judge Owens to sign the certificate of completion for the septic tank 487 Shunla Street, 454 Shunla Street, 378 Ozona Street, and 30 Ozona Street in Comstock. We also had an item, which was item 23, that took care of these same, systems. Correct, Carl? Same thing, right? Okay. Are they done?
Yes, sir. Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. These were the four systems installed on the septic. They all have their license to operate from the health department, and they're functioning, and we have letters from the owners saying that they're happy with the system. Now we need to sign this just to complete the grant procedures.
This, septic systems, they meet state standard?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was an aerobic systems on all of them, and then they're completely up to our standards, which is CCQ Chapter 285.
A motion to approve.
Have a motion, Commissioner Flores,
Second, Judge.
second, Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. The other thing is, we'll be looking, Rob, is in the process of probably receiving, we're bringing to the county to accept another million, for some of the other counties that have not completed, their work, so there was money left over. And there was an email, I think, last week that he'll be moving forward and bringing that to the court, bringing more money back to the court.
Are those state funds or federal funds?
State funds. Mhm. Yeah, the federal funds, though, that, and I'll go into it because all this, we still have federal funds that are tied into some of our projects, which yesterday, the conversation, that you were having with Rosa and Carlos about funds, about federal funds.
Correct.
So we do have federal funds out there. The thing is, though, that I think it was a blanket order just to take care of everything, and then they realized, the judge realized, can't do it. But they're going through and trying to get back a better list. I know that Middle Rio Grande met with them yesterday also. They're concerned because a lot of our grants to Middle Rio Grande are both state and federal funds. So we were concerned about even paying labor, even paying the employees. But with the action that the judge took, put everything on hold.
And to be clear, we're talking about the freeze.
The freeze, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm
The
sorry.
White House had issued an executive order.
Yeah.
And an injunction was granted by a federal judge.
There you go. Yeah. So, the auditor is looking in, or was looking in, is looking into exactly if they do freeze again, what funds that are out there that could be impacted.
This has nothing to do with the ARPA money or projects that are still pending.
This one right here, these are ARPA funds.
Okay, federal money, right? I mean,
The septic system,
One on
no?
the list were the CBGBGs, I'm sorry. CBGs were arrested. And then we do have some HIDA funding, that's also on the list, but,
No, we're talking about two different things, the septic systems.
okay.
Yeah, the HIDA funds and the other funds are some of the funds that may be impacted by the freeze. But his question was about the septic systems.
Got it.
Yes. No, it's all good. I tell you what, you sat back and watched. Are we good? I had a motion, Commissioner Flores, and Commissioner Vasquez. We took a vote 5-0. We're good with that? Yes. Okay. Item 41, discussion possible action on, releasing letter of credit number 468 for Walkpaw Construction LLC in the amount of $150,000 for subdivision improvements for the Sakatosa subdivision. Have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez.
I'll second that for.
Second, Commissioner Flores. This was the ranch out there on 90 that he subdivided into 40-acre tracts. Justin Burke.
Oh, okay.
The ranch on 90 East, after you pass the.
Oh, the old Cinema Ranch?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, basically, TxDOT, after they found out that basically he was subdividing it into more than just one track, they wanted a bigger entrance. They were concerned about traffic. So he ended up having to design and build a concrete drive coming in with not only ingress and egress lanes.
Deceleration and incorporation lanes based on TxDOT and based on the speed limit, not just because of the amount of traffic that we're gonna have it. So
he got done. The other night when I came through, there was no more cones on the deal. So I called him and said, do you need action from us? He wants his letter of credit. Yes. I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, and Commissioner Flores. Do you have any questions?
No.
We good? All in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carlos. We've done item 12. We'll go on and. No, we didn't. Well, I get two. Item 11, discussion possible action to approve the treasurer's report. You do have it in your packet.
Is there any,
There's no surprises.
no surprise?
No surprises.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores,
I'll second that, Judge.
second Commissioner Vasquez. Do I have any questions?
No.
Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Thank you, David. Item 13, discussion possible action on main sewer trunk line along Senegas. I sent, so everybody understands what's going on there. Commissioner Flores had asked to be able to fix Senegas Road. We borrowed money to fix Senegas Road, but like from industrial park or industrial, is it industrial street?
Johnson?
Johnson, to the duck pond, or to, right close to the duck pond, there is the main trunk line there that is full, and the city is, we had asked the city to try to replace it. They have the funds to replace it. Greg's email said that they were, I think, 100% complete on plans, and that they would be moving forward to get that line replaced. So I was very thankful for the city, and they're going to start, my understanding, if it doesn't change, they'll start with that trunk line at the wastewater treatment plant on Frontera, and then move out from there to go back. It'll circle around the airport, but it's everything that is north that the city has, all that's on that main trunk line there. So if they can replace that one trunk line, it'll help us not build a street and then have to tear it up. The other concern within the email was that there's a 6-inch asbestos line that runs under Senegas. If they could sort of replace it too before we build a street. And he said that they have plans to probably try to do it in-house. So we'll see. I don't know if they applied for a grant for that or not, but he said that the plan was to go ahead and try to get it done. I know that you and Carlos are trying to set up a meeting with all the engineers, another meeting, to visit with the city, just to come up with a plan. That way we know whether Senegas can be all of it done, or we're gonna have to wait a little bit more to do from Johnson to the duck pond.
We are having a meeting this afternoon, right, Councilman City, concerning utility lines, Judge.
Okay, that's awesome. Any other questions or any questions on that? No action really needs to be taken. We'll move on to item 14, discussion of possible action on water rates for Valverde Park Estate. When I was a commissioner, and I think Commissioner Vasquez has done the same thing, is asked about the water rates, everything outside of the city limits, because everybody gets charged more money for water. I think there's a document, and we're looking for it again, but I'll bring it up now that once we produce the document, that I don't think the city has the right to charge us a higher water rate, especially in Valverde Park Estate, because when that grant was done, it said that they could charge a higher rate in order to recoup any funds that they had in administering the grant. But that's the only authority that through the grant that they have. So I don't think they have the authority to raise the water rate in Valverde Park because of the way the grant was written. I can tell you that the city had an issue with the water line and sewer line that runs along 90 going out to Gateway. And at that time, they were charging and this would have been in the late 80s, early 90s, they were charging a water and sewer when you went to go do a tap, but they were charging you for the line and then for the linear feet. They ended up, after it was brought to their attention, having to give a bunch of people, Mr. Segovia, Debbie Miller, a bunch of the people that had already paid, they ended up having to give all those funds back that they had charged. I think that my opinions right now, that they've done the same thing. But I'd want the court to be informed that as soon as we get that document, I'm going to present it to y'all, and then the court can make up their mind if they want to move forward. I think between the difference of what they should be charging and what they've charged, it's millions of dollars since the 80s.
Judge, if I may, they've been charging at higher rate in Valverde State, Ciénegas area for over 30 years.
Yeah.
You would figure they already made up their money to whatever was involved in that grant.
Yeah. But we'll start with one and then we'll move over. If we have luck with one, then we know we're going to have luck with the other ones, right? But I just wanted to bring it to the attention of the court. Item 15, discussion possible action on a second international bridge. We've met a couple of times with the city on the trip going to Washington, which would be March 3rd through the 6th. And the city had, I guess they have items on what they want to talk about, but the three items that they kept harping on or beating on was a water, another water source, the airline, to bring in an airline into the city, and then the third being the second international bridge to ask for a presidential permit. This court voted not to accept or support a bridge unless it was south of the bridge that we have now. So I think we're at the point right now that because they are leaving on March 3rd through the 6th to go to Washington to ask for a presidential permit to move forward with that, what position is the court going to take? Are we going to remain with the position that we have? We've not seen, we were told that they were going to look at another route that did not affect, I guess, the recharge zone. There's a hole in the ground out there that could be classified as a recharge zone. And I was told that they were going to look at another route to go around that. I've not seen the route. I was told that mid-January, they would be looking at presenting something. We do not have anything, and I've not officially or unofficially received anything from the city to say that there is another route. My concern is that this court has already voted not to support a route unless it is south of the bridge that we have now. So we are going to have to either begin to send letters to our federal representatives or not. But this court has voted not to support any other route. So I don't think that that's changed. But with that being said, y'all need to give me an idea of what is it and which way y'all want to run. But if, I shouldn't say allow, but we're going to have to take a stand one way or another. And if that's sending letters to our federal representatives and letting them know that we don't support this bridge because of the placement and the route, then we'll get with you, David, and make sure that the letter that I send is not really offensive.
Judge, if I may say something.
Yes, sir.
We have 2 new members of the court that did not vote the last time. They were not here. I mean, as to concerning the option of having the second bridge on the south side. Is there any way that maybe we could revisit that portion of the bridge and put it to a vote, see if they are with us on that idea of having the second bridge on the south side?
That could be a good idea, Commissioner. And then what we'll do is, whichever one of y'all want to go first in speaking, if we know how you land.
Everybody knows how I feel. I think on the south side, it makes a whole lot more sense than on the north side. I think it would connect to the loop. It would connect to the proposed new I-69 or whatever it is they're planning. I think all around, that is a lot better idea than to go through precinct 3. So I am in support of it being on the south side.
Okay.
I mean, I would still like to have an item and revisit that and put it to a vote.
We can do with this, actually, because it says discussion possible action, it allows us.
It's action.
Yeah, to take the vote. Commissioner Wardlaw, do you have any comments?
Yes, sir. I believe that the bridge being on the south side is the right way to go. It would not displace anybody from their homes, and I think it would help put some economic development in my precinct. I think it would actually assist in growth in San Felipe. And if we have one landowner to deal with, much easier.
Okay.
That landowner doesn't want to sell to anybody, any other's property. Yeah, I mean,
No, it doesn't.
It's just a fact.
Well, and at this point, all it would be to reaffirm the action that the court took with, that the other court took. And I think that if that's the action that we're going to take, then we need to go ahead and begin the letter process, and send letters to our federal representatives and to our state representatives. The bottom line is, the court will not support anything, and then list the reasons. And I keep looking over at you, David, just.
Yes, sir. Can you,
sir.
Can you add the State Department to the list of people to send letters to?
Yeah.
Because that's where the final decision is going to be made.
And of course. Okay.
It's not going to be an action item then?
I'm fixing to ask for a motion before we take a vote.
Yes, sir.
And the last motion was that the county would not support any bridge or route that was not south of the present bridge. That was the motion that we had the last time, in a nutshell. So I don't know if somebody wants to make a motion or change the motion, but if somebody'd like to make a motion, then we could go on with a vote.
Can I make that motion?
Yes, sir.
Since it's proposed
Yes,
in my
sir.
precinct?
Yes, sir.
I would like to make a motion to reaffirm the previous court's decision that we support a second international bridge south of the current location, and that we notify our elected representatives of our disagreement with the city's 4 proposed locations, including our state, federal, and the State Department.
I will second that, Judge.
Okay, I have a motion. Commissioner Garcia, second Commissioner Vasquez, Commissioner Wardlaw.
Judge, maybe add in there that we haven't been notified or shown this other route. We haven't been given all the information.
There's no route on the south side.
No, I mean,
No confirmed route.
they're supposed to have another route that they
He's
said.
talking about on the north side of the road.
Yeah, there's a
On the north
there's
side.
a 4th proposed route.
We haven't seen anything.
Well, this motion here, what he just said, pretty much doesn't really matter what route they pick up north, because the court is we have a motion on the table not to support anything unless it's south. And I have a second. If they bring us more information and bring us a route, then I will bring it, back to the court to see what y'all want to do then.
Okay.
Okay. I was the only one the last time that didn't vote for this, and I'm not going to vote for it again for the simple reason that, I don't want to close the doors with them. I do believe that the action that this court is taking, is necessary. But if they would pick a route that, I understand they've spent a ton of money out there. And the last time that I spoke with the mayor, he said, well, if you're going to give us another route, you need to put some skin in the game. You bring some money. And I said, well, what are you talking about? I mean, how much money do you need to change the route or change the bridge? If you'll let us know, then I can bring it to the court. If it's a matter of we need to go out and do another study, and you will consider a route south, and what's it going to cost the county to do the route? Or a study for a second bridge? But I can't bring it to the court because they haven't given me that option, right? And if they're concerned about the bridge north and then another route up there that's not going to affect people, then pick a route. And if we have to throw in $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, before Matt looks at me, to do a study, then give us that opportunity, as long as it's not affecting people. But we've never been told by the city that, other than we'll throw some skin in the game, throw some money. Well, tell us how much money. And then, I think this court would be willing, or I'd be willing to bring it back to the court for a vote if they would consider a bridge south, and the court sort of pay for another study, right? We don't want to hurt the city. We just want to be part of the conversation. All right. I have a motion and I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Everybody aye? All four of y'all?
No, I'm against it.
Okay. I have a motion, Commissioner Garcia, second, Commissioner Vasquez. I'm going to take a roll call vote. That way Commissioner Wardlaw, how do you vote? For the motion?
For.
Okay. Commissioner Vasquez, how do you vote?
For the motion, Judge.
Okay. Commissioner Garcia?
For the motion.
Commissioner Flores?
Judge, I'm gonna vote against it. I've changed my mind. I think we're just gonna waste a lot of time and money fighting this. We need to keep in mind and not forget that Las Brisas was built for this route, for the second bridge, the overpass also. $4 million that we spent on that overpass.
Okay. And I vote against it. Motion does pass. David, in the next week or so, if we'll begin to come up with a draft, and I can give you my points, and we sort of get together and then get it to the court to make sure they're okay. And if y'all want to add something, that we add it, that way I can sign it and get it to them.
Okay.
Okay. Thank y'all. Item 16, presentation to the court on 2011, 2019, 2025, and I've taken already a lot of y'all's time, but I'll go quick with this. This court, the previous court, and this court here, when when we came in 2011, I say we, it was, Commissioner Flores and myself. We came in 2011. The budget, was about a $35 million budget. But the way that it was set up, we had about $18 million, correct me if I'm wrong, about $18 million of it was GEO. It was just sort of pass-through money. The way we've been doing the budget now, we actually book what we get in revenue versus just the other millions of dollars. The budget that we had in 2011 was about a $35 million budget. You take away the $18 million, you're about a $17 million budget that was interest and sinking, general fund, road and bridge, grants, everything else, about 17 million. When we came in, the previous court, we had about a $33 million budget in 2019, total. Today, we're sitting at about a $64 million, that was on the first sheet, a $64 million that the court just passed, and that is in the fiscal year that we're in right now. And the reason, part of that it's important, when you look up at the top, we've gone from 33 million to 64 million in 6 years, which is pretty impressive. Part of that money is ARPA funds that are still in there, not like the 9 point some odd million that we got, but it's still in there. Then we have about 10 million, or 9 million in change because we have a tax note. And then other funds, when people, and I know, Commissioner, that when you ran, there's grants. As a matter of fact, we actually had a meeting with people in San Antonio, and then we had another meeting with them in Comstock, because you were concerned about getting grants. In 2019, I think it's 4 million, but I'm going to do that real quick. In 2019, in the budget, what we had classified as grants was about 4.2 million. What we have today is about 14.4 million. It's what we have in our budget that's classified as grants. When you pick up the tab that says grants, that's where it's at. Our tax rate, Commissioner Nettleton, if he was here, that's what he'd be harping on. What did we give back? And I think, that was part of you too, is that, what are we doing for the citizens? But the tax rate when we came in 2011 was 0.46 and change. 2019, 5.2 and change. And today it's 4.977. So between 2019 and now, the court gave back right at 2.5 cents in tax rate. Some of the departments that have been affected, and then I'm just going to hit this real quick, and then I'm going to move on. Some of the departments on the first page, if you all look, that have been affected, and that I think we've done a good job with all of them. Can we always do better? Of course. But we've gone from 284 employees, we're at 284 employees today. That's not including OLS or SB 22. But we were at 203 in 2011, so we've gained about 71 employees since 2011. That's not including OLS or SB 22, people that are paid with those funds. But some of the areas and again, I'm just going to hit this real quick. Some of the areas that we've grown considerably is in Sheriff's Office. In 2019, you had a $3.4 million budget. The budget that was just passed is right at 4.4 million. Fire Department, and I think this is the one that I'm impressed with, and I know that people that live in the Lake Ridge area, we had some people that showed up because of their insurance, either not being able to get insurance or their insurance was really high. But we went from $287,000 in 2019 to $617,000 in the Fire Department in 2025. Capital, the court put another $900 and some odd thousand just for a fire station to be built north. So in 2019, we had $1.5 million in capital, and today we're a little over $2 million. And then our Veterans Office, when you look in 2011, we had $103,000 in 2011, $130,000 in 2019, And then our veterans today, not including all the equipment that we bought, vehicles, we're at $223,000. When I first came in, our auditor wanted to know how we were gonna do the budget. And I told him that we would set aside X amount of money, and he'd probably never be happy with what we set aside, but we would set aside X amount of dollars, and then we were gonna, I used the word spend, my wife says that I shouldn't use that, reinvest back into the community. And we did. We've gone from 30 days, if you take the interest that was sitting in interest and sinking, that wasn't pledged or was pledged in 2011. If you take that, it's about 30 days. In 2011, 2019, we had 57 days. And looking at the expenses, not the revenue. Today we have about 78 days in fund balance. Even though the court, in the fiscal year that we're in right now, the budget that we passed, we used $2.8 million out of fund balance to be able to balance the budget. And when we have the comments that you know, you're going down a slippery slope type deal. If the majority of those expenses were not, because they are non-reoccurring expenses, it's a matter of drawing the line through it and you just don't spend them. Now, if there were reoccurring expenses and you do that every year, then we're going to end up in trouble in about 2 years. All right. But for the simple reason that they're not reoccurring expenses. And the previous court, and I have all the faith in this court when we go to pass our budget this next go round, we will continue the trend, you know, to move this county forward. Again, I just wanted to present this to y'all, because I've sort of given it to the leadership Del Rio, the leadership Del Rio, and presented it to them. And as we were going through all the numbers, you know, you go through them, but you never really put them on paper. When I put them on paper, I thought it was something that y'all would, I know y'all look at the budget, but it would be something for y'all to have. Again, not so much for questions unless y'all have some, but it's impressive that we've gone from $31 million budget to a $64 million budget. When you look at the ARPA funds that were presented to the county, the elevators, the parks, the equipment, and then the amount of money that we probably borrowed since 2019 to last year, probably over $20 million that we've borrowed, and still able to stay healthy, be healthy as a county. We bought the SE Ranch for $6 million. The note that was $1.7 million, that interest rate was a little bit high, but they're the only ones that we could go with because they're the only ones that did. That's how we needed to get it done. And that one, I think it took us a year and a half to figure out how to go back and pay it, and then go back and borrow more money with the amount of money that we already had set aside for that payment. So, again, if y'all have any questions, I'll try real hard to answer them, but it's really impressive.
No, it is, especially with you lowering the tax rate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and you know, we have, and people that are sitting out there, some of y'all, you know, the comment's going to be that our values went up. It's like a rate increase anyway because the values went up. There's not a whole lot I can do about the values. The hospital, the city, both schools and the county, we don't control what the appraisal district does to us. We are in control, each one of us, of how we spend y'all's money and the tax rate that we set. Okay. Y'all have any questions?
No.
No? Okay. I just wanted to talk.
You don't like that?
No, I don't like that at all. Mr. Huda, do you have an item? Or you just came to visit?
No. Oh, no,
The hospital?
yes.
Yeah, not yours.
Can we go to that
We
item,
can.
please?
Yeah, we sure can.
George?
Since we've been jumping around a lot, I'm gonna go ahead and continue that. Let me get to it.
It's item 34.
Item 34, discussion possible action for approval to allow Valverde County Regional Medical Center to hold a heart health educational event at the community center on Saturday, February 22nd, 2025 at 10 a.m. The event will consist of the following educational presentation on heart disease, diabetes, and healthy eating. And before you get started, I know that we had talked the other day that maybe we could do this Comstock and the Self-Help Center, or even there in San Felipe. and then pick a spot for precinct one. We'll see how this goes. But if you could open that door, and then visit with the other three commissioners to see what they'd like to have.
Yes, sir.
Floor is yours, sir.
So, good morning, Judge and Commissioners. So my name is Jorge Curado. I'm the Chief Executive Officer at Valverde Regional Medical Center. And one of our biggest initiatives for calendar year 2025 is community outreach and education. But how we want to tackle this year is differently. We don't want to host as many events at the hospital. We want to come out to the community. So our first event that we're proposing is a heart health event at the Precinct 4 Community Center, where we're going to take our team, which consists of a cardiology nurse practitioner, exercise physiologist, our dietary chefs from the hospital, and our physical therapists. So we want to have this event, educate them on diabetes, heart health, and healthy eating. It'll consist of an actual presentation. Then we will be doing glucose checks and blood pressure checks for the individuals that go. A presentation on healthy eating. Our chef's going to prepare a meal and then prepare that alternative on what we can do different to be healthier. And then one of our physical therapists is going to do an exercise class to just kind of give our community ideas of what they can do at home just to stay active. We would love to be able to do this in Precinct 4, and then definitely connect with the other commissioners to do alternate events, or we just want to get out there to the community. We're excited, our team's excited. There's just so much that we can educate. As you look at our community and the demographics, our biggest opportunity is preventative health here. There's a lot of chronic illness. A lot of this can be either delayed or even prevented, but we have to start with education, right? We got to make healthy choices. So I would love to have the opportunity to do that. Our team is ready to go. We are going to host a smaller one on the 12th of February there at the hospital, but we'd like to do that one, Commissioner Flores, there at your community center. And then if there's a space at the other precincts, we would love to partner and to do that.
And I'll send them your contact. I'm sure they have it, but I'll resend it to them. That way they can reach out to you.
Yes, sir.
We all think it's important. We had talked about bus. They said they could get us a bus, and that's one of the things that I brought up to him, was maybe that if we could get one of these buses that used to be an ambulance or something, in order to provide the services. Not so much the services, but training, just awareness. If we could do that, maybe if you go back and ask them.
Yeah. I just need to see what kind of paperwork we need to prove that they'll be working with us.
But if you'll begin that process,
Yeah,
I would greatly appreciate it. You went to school here.
Yes, sir.
Del Rio. I'd like to start something, and I'm not going to look over there. I'd like to start something that we recognize individuals that have gone to school here, been to school, went off, came back, and have helped our community. I want to thank you. I think that we probably need to start doing this. It's not going to be enough, but maybe we recognize and y'all start picking names of people that y'all know. And I don't want to hurt Dr. Rios' feelings also, because he's also homegrown and he came back. So that's for you, Dr. Rios. That way he doesn't get his feelings hurt that I just called you out. But I want to thank you for everything you do. I know that we've always had issues at the hospital. It doesn't matter who's there. But I've heard good things about the work that you're doing. And we want to tell you thank you. We greatly appreciate it. And anything we can do, we'll take a vote on this here in a minute, but anything we can do to assist. I know that you were talking about a emergency room. What was it that you needed to do?
Just kind of the strategic plan and the vision of what we're doing as the county and the city continue to grow. The hospital also needs to grow. Mm-hmm. So looking at our capacity, what are the opportunities, and aligning those initiatives with the county and the city, because we have to all grow together. Mm-hmm. The emergency room obviously is an opportunity. We've put in a lot of initiatives right now. We're still doing this. We get to a point where we hit physical walls that we have to kind of design on what we're going to do to expand our footprint.
You replaced equipment that was 20 years old?
So we actually are going to unveil our brand new catheterization, our cardiac cath lab. So this equipment has been in the hospital. It's served the hospital well for well over 20 years. This is huge, because now Valverde Regional Medical Center will have the top of the line cath lab within here to San Antonio. So we'll be able to offer our patients that technology. That is a huge investment, a lot of support from our board. We actually just unveiled our brand new surgical laparoscopic towers on Monday. That's a huge investment as well, because now, that technology was 12 years old. So, just in our homes, our iPhones get swapped out every year. You can imagine what technology does in healthcare in 12 years or 20 years. So we are moving in the right direction, and we appreciate your support. And I'll really would love to work with the county and really do our part of educating. I think we hurt ourselves by not educating our community. The hospital does, because there's a lot of good things that happen within those walls that not everybody sees. But we are committed to do that, and I appreciate that, Judge. It means a lot. This position is not only, for me, a great achievement, but it's personal. This is where I'm from, and this is where my family goes, and my loved ones, and your loved ones. So we take it very personal at the hospital that we want to do what's right. We feel that we're in the right direction, so we'll continue to update the port, and we appreciate your support.
We appreciate what you're doing, going out from the hospital into the neighborhoods or community centers to help the people that need the help, that need to be, they need to know what's going on with their daily lives as to healthy eating and being aware of all this disease that are coming up, that COVID and whatever, we really appreciate you. Thank you so much. I will make a motion to approve the item, Judge.
Have a motion, Commissioner Flores.
I'll second that.
Second, Commissioner Vasquez. Y'all have any other comments? No. Good. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Again, thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
thank you for coming back home. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
I'm gonna go to item 17 because I've already done item 60. Yeah, correct? I'm sorry. Item 17, discussion possible action on drawing up an MOU and to distribute funds set aside for CASA. These are individuals that, last fiscal year, or last calendar year, with the other court, we set aside $20,000 to give to these individuals. They help, children, they offer another resource. But I'd like at this point, if y'all will give us permission to have the attorneys create an MOU and give us permission also to, once it's created, visit with CASA and our attorneys are satisfied with it, and our auditor, that we move forward and go ahead and sign it, don't have to wait 2 weeks to bring it back to the court. Money's already been set aside.
I'll make a motion to approve, Judge.
A motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second, Commissioner Flores. Y'all have any discussion?
No.
All in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Discussion possible action application for hot tax funds in the amount of $48,000 for the 47th annual George Paul Memorial Extreme Bull Riding, 25th, 28th, 2025.
Just 4,800?
4,800. What did I say?
4,800.
Okay. Well, we don't do 48,000.
I'll make a motion with 4,800, but not the 48,000.
Okay. Before we do that, are you related to it?
By marriage.
Okay. Abstain? Okay. Commissioner Wardlaw, would you mind abstaining from this? Okay. Thank you, sir. Part of this, somebody will make a motion, I'll do my
I'll
little
make a
speech.
motion to approve, Judge.
Okay. I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez.
I'll second.
Commissioner Garcia. We had paid, paid, or given money to the chamber with the Hispanic Chamber. There's three of us, the Duro Chamber of Commerce, Hispanic Chamber, and Valverde County. And I wish I'd have brought the information, but I left it in the Sonata. Bottom line is, when you look at the amount of people that have left that event over 2 days and have gone to motels, we gave them 4,800 and they had 1,550 some odd visits. It's $3 and change, is what you can put per head, per person that left that place and went and visited a motel. Not saying that they stayed there, they might have gone to Ramada just to go drink, but they visited a motel. When you look at and we'll bring this back as it goes along, we've given money to the Cinco de Mayo, the 16 de Septiembre, the IGNC for the parade, the 5 and the 16 all stay with the amount of visits that they have to hotels with the Bobby Powell, anywhere from $3.06 to about $5 and some odd cents per head that go visit. A pretty good number. The IGNC, with the amount of people that left the parade to go to a motel, was more like $150 some odd dollars per head. It's not part of this, but with those numbers, I think that this, this is a worthy cause, even though it is for profit. That one's for both. It is for profit, but they are the group that we spend the amount of money that we spend on either one of those 4 groups. This group here is the one that gives us the most bang for our buck. Okay. I think it's a good idea. The IGNC, and just throwing it out there, that way they know where I'm coming from. I'll never vote to give them nothing else out of hot tax money. When everybody else is between 3 and 5, and they're at $145, $150 per person. We have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez. We have a second, Commissioner Garcia. Do you have any questions? No, sir. You were looking at your, and I'm going to try to be quiet now. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody against? None. And 1 abstention. It's a 4-0-1. Item 19, discussion possible action. Motion to approve. Thank you.
Second that, Judge.
Have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second, Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 20, discussion possible action applying for TxDOT 2025 Transportation Alternative Program. Call for projects deadline to apply February 2025. I did send out an email to the school and to the city for some of the projects that they might want. We had talked about overpass. We had talked about sidewalks and all that. Did not get a response, but I did send it out. So, in saying that, this is the one that we talked about, some sidewalks for the overpass over 90, sidewalks along somewhere in the Buena Vista area in case they're needed from Buena Vista School. And then we've got the new school up there also. That'd be precincts 2 and 3.
And Ciénegas Road.
Ciénegas Road, precinct 4. And then we talked about sidewalks from Chavita. I did get a couple comments from other people on the Chavita deal. They are elementary they go to 5th grade. But they were concerned if we built, then the parents would have them walking versus picking them up. And they didn't want them walking along the highway. So it's, there was a little bit of negative that came out of building a sidewalk. It was like, yeah, but we would be asking to build a sidewalk, and that way they don't walk down 90 on 90. But those are the locations. Those are the projects that we had. What do you need from us, Carl? You need to narrow it down, or you need cost, or?
The county is allowed to submit 2 projects.
Mm-hmm.
TxDOT will fund no more than 1
Okay.
if we're successful.
Okay.
So we need to narrow it down to 2 projects.
Okay. I think the overpass, I don't know.
7th and 8th middle school.
Okay. Everybody's talked about it. The city's talked about it. Schools talked about it. We've talked about it. We just never got it done. The other one, the sidewalks in, it's up to y'all. Okay. Y'all pick
Well,
another one.
Ciénegas would be one. I mean, it would help the project, the Ciénegas Road project, those sidewalks.
Would it help, and it would help the citizens, because when we started a house down there, so when I go down there and look, or go down there in the afternoons, we do have a lot of, we have kids walking. If we can't get them all done, it would be nice to get them to where they can get to the stores, these kids, and be able to get back home without walking in the street.
On the overpass, I've found 1 empty lot on the railway south of the tracks. And then there's the area where there's a pavilion behind Hogan Park that is an open area. Those are really the only 2 spots I can see the overpass could come down on the south side of the tracks.
Okay. So I guess bottom line is we pick a project. You tell me we're going down the right road. We'll pick 2 projects. And then we'll go through the process of looking to check and see,
You talk overpass, you're talking about going over the railroad track and.
everything. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. So are y'all comfortable with the overpass and the Senegas area? And I know that, in precinct 3, there is a need, but you also have sidewalks already along other stuff.
And I'm in more of a residential area. The schools are in a more residential area. There's not so much commercial traffic like the highways
Yeah,
that they're
we're
talking about.
Senegas Road.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can delay,
Y'all okay with that?
I'm okay with delaying those 2 schools.
Need a motion for the bridge and for
I'll
Senegas
make a
area.
motion, Judge.
Second. A motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second, Commissioner Flores, for the bridge and Senegas area. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 21, approved target range quarterly report for October, November, December. It's in the packet. Yeah, it's all good. Need a motion.
Motion to approve, Judge.
A motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second, Commissioner Flores. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Discussion possible action on a voting access grant application. Carl, I thought we had talked about that, the property needed to belong to us. It's gonna be real difficult to help with, any boat ramps out at the lake because property ain't gonna belong to us. There is a property that the county owns in precinct 4, that little park that, Commissioner Flores has fixed. Boat ramp would help, boat patrol, help sheriff, help us. Would that be something that we could apply for? Okay, need a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second that, Judge.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second, Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 23, we've already done. Item 25, is he here? We're rolling.
Yes, sir.
Discussion possible action on hazard mitigation in Valverde County. Some of the items to be added. We talked in visiting with Ram and other individuals, cybersecurity, hazardous materials, what the plan of action is going to be. We've also talked about, one of the plans that we did was actually on the railroad. Who would be in charge, who would be told, how far back to evacuate, infectious diseases. Looks like we've already gone through that, so we already have a plan for that. You went?
She's agreeing.
No, you made a face, now we're going. You what?
24. You're out.
Jesus Christ.
3 and you're out.
Got no speak?
24.
You said, yeah, I'll move. I just want to get done now. I've been talking a lot, and then he's sitting back there. I'm not doing real good today, right? Mass migration, we've already sort of been through that. One we have now is threatened to give 25% tariff on everybody, and it looks like, so the migration stopped, and we're gonna send people back. On that one there, yeah. Terrorism, we've run some drills in case we have a threat here, even during voting. What are we gonna do? So we have plans for those, but, the other deal that we talked about was, flooding, precincts, 1, 2, 3, and 4, flooding issues. The other thing we talked about was, fire and how to mitigate that. And I think the main thing, where it seems like it always starts is in precinct 1 at the Moody. And then we've had some major fires in precinct 3, up around the pocket up there. And what is the plan to mitigate that? And we always have, water issues.
Right.
And precincts, 1, 2, 3, and 4, have either drilled or in the process of drilling and setting up tanks, even if it's not on our property.
Squatter rights.
Well, as you know, Judge, we need projects, so the more we can put on, all I need is to identify the project, the location, and then, sort of a plan of attack on how we want to try to mitigate them. And then at that point, at any point during the fiscal year, when the granting funding becomes available and we need help drilling
those wells or
Well, I
doing
think
fire breaks?
We've already
We
drilled
can
wells,
get the
on
grants.
all three locations.
Okay.
And then I think all three have already bought frac tanks or storage tanks. And I think in precinct 3, they've actually even moved a building from, Thomas?
You don't
From
wanna
yours or from the
You don't wanna
school?
go look at that building,
Torn down. Why?
you need to go look at it.
I'll go back. Okay, well, they have that.
Okay.
So what is it that you need from us? Because it's like the third time I bring it back.
So all I need is projects, right? So locations, if it's a street in one of the precincts, just the roadway, the location of the street, it's a like, low laying area. Like Kingsway as an example is a project, that area. We just need to identify the location, right? It's a drainage issue, where it's located, the name of the street, and just the
He's
location,
already taken care of Lawson,
right?
so that was started Monday,
Monday.
right? The only thing is that, we need to do something above Lawson.
So what we should do then at this point is maybe get with Carlos has slept, but I could get with Carlos and identify some areas, right, on current projects or things that the commissioners would like to get done. Carlos has generated a list. I put that list on our radar with the GPS coordinates, and then we put those projects in. The idea is to have those projects in the plan. That way we may not get to them, but at least they're there. And in the event that there's funding available for grants, that we can try to address those issues. Again, try to eliminate the long-term risks.
I don't want to keep bringing this back.
Right. I think that's going to be the best route. Just to work off of any sort of current project or a future project the commissioners want to work on, or kind of what's.
Could you set aside time? Would y'all have time this week?
I've got time this week,
Okay.
Mr. Ron.
Yes, sir.
Let's get it done this week. That
Okay.
way I don't get emails
Okay.
anymore.
I understand.
And let's put something together.
Right. No, I agree.
And the court right now probably give you permission to visit with all of them, put something together and let's present it to Middle Rio Grande, wherever we're sending it to.
Okay.
That way they're happy and.
And if anything, I mean, part of that too, I know we have two members of the court that are new. We can schedule a Zoom call real quick with the consultants that are helping us if there's any issues. But it's better to provide something, right? It's a list of live flooding concerns in your precinct. Let's just list them. Even though we may not ever get to them, or that's not maybe a priority, but it's still a risk, then we just need to include it. The more
Well,
the better.
and like I say, the flooding, the fire.
Well, the dam's gonna be included, obviously.
And you bring that up, they did give us, we have an idea, if something was to happen, the inundation map, we're not supposed to share.
Well, we aren't, they can request,
They
public
can
request from.
we can't, because
Right.
we signed all kinds of documents.
Yes,
But,
confidentiality agreements.
part of the process, and I'm sitting back here looking at Ms. Reyes, it was brought up about, the sinkholes. They set some money aside. They're all excited about the money they set aside, but it's nowhere near the amount of money that they said is gonna take. But you know what? We'll take a little bit of a win, because it is on their radar. But, we did look at the maps, that in case something goes wrong with the dam, which I'm not saying it's going to, but in case something goes wrong, where would we need to be stationed? And, we will be having meetings with, first responders, to go through that process. The water where it goes to, it's at the high level, not at the level that it is now. So, it's like you're gonna have to draw everything back a bunch. But,
Right,
we will do
the
that.
study is based on the lake being at its highest.
Yeah.
So that those inundation maps are predicating on the fact that it's gonna be at its highest level,
So we didn't get nothing showing,
current levels.
current levels. So it's gonna be hard, but we can plan for the worst and know that it's not gonna get there because the water's not that high. Okay. But if you will please,
Yes, sir.
visit with them this week, you got a couple of days, get it to Middle Rio Grande and their consultants. Carlos.
If there's anything right now, Commissioners, that you can think of,
Yes,
just one, just throw an address at me or a location, and we'll.
down at the end of, FDR Street,
Okay.
there's brush in the draw, and we just got a brand new excavator, we're about to put it to work.
But even at that, if we remove the brush, that's still an area that's gonna flood, and it's
We
like
need to
anything
address the
else.
issue down.
Yes.
downstream.
When you remove brush, it makes it, the water will run
Faster.
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 It'll flood somebody else down.
Right, so we need to address the root of the issue.
Yeah.
Well, the brush backs the water up and it gets outside the banks and inside the houses. So give the water somewhere to go,
Right.
to the creek.
And we're,
Got it, yes, sir?
and, you know, I want to bring up precinct 2. You know, with what he's doing there is gonna help a lot. But we need to move forward, with the city to help above everything that everybody's doing at Lawson and.
Well, and the key to get funded is it's gotta be a long-term solution, right? So you can put it in your plan, but if it doesn't address a long-term solution, you're not gonna get the grant funding for it, so it's gotta be
Well,
long.
you know, that, and that'll help if we can take care of that, that'll help also in precinct 4, because all that water ends up in Cinegas.
And there's the airport down in Cienega.
Okay,
But yeah, I mean, the big issue in precinct 4 is gonna be the duck pond and the Cienega Creek.
okay.
Cause I plan to open that road one of these days. I mean, the old ferry road tying into the Vega Valley Road.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Good luck. Here we go. Yeah, well, let's do it.
I'll reach out to you today, Mr. Robles.
Okay, thank you, Judge, thank you for, good to go.
Thank y'all. And I've skipped 3. We're gonna go back. No action needed on this one, but if y'all will please reach out to Roland, and try to get this done that way. What were y'all here for, if you don't mind me asking?
Anything on the agenda for the 911 for the street and then the.
Okay. Oh, we'd already done that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So, well, I'm sorry I didn't recognize y'all or something, but thank y'all for coming.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Troy. Have a good day. I'm gonna go back to item 24, because that's the third item that I've skipped.
Yes.
24. Item 24, discussion possible action for Commissioners Court approval on hiring Eliana
Elena.
That one, as 4-H county agent. She'll be working along with Tom Yeater. Rebel from the Texas Ag, is the one that sent this in. They'd interviewed a bunch of, there he is. They'd interviewed a bunch of people. This is the one that I think, that they picked. I know this is the one they picked. There was a question about, when she could start, when she was gonna start, because this court had set aside money to, hire Miss Green during the interim as a secretary, which used to be there before, but the secretary now, is not there right now. She's got issues. And I think in the conversation that we had, Tom, that you would be okay with this and that you would talk to her.
Yes, sir.
Did I miss anything?
I visited with her last week, or beginning of this week. She's from Nebraska. She's been in extension for a little over 4 years in Nebraska. Husband's in the military. He's a trainer, or he's coming here to be a plane instructor. And she sounds really good. I visited with her in length, and I think we're really lucky and blessed to have somebody with her experience to start here in Del Rio. I really do.
So the money's already there for that position?
The money's in the position, plus, agriculture ends up giving more money. Yeah. But our funds are there.
Second.
Rebels thinking it's probably gonna be mid-1st of April, mid-March to 1st of April before she could start. But looking forward to her if y'all will approve her.
And, I have a motion, Commissioner Flores. I have a second, Commissioner Wardlaw. I did speak with Sherry, I think, yesterday.
She's good.
Yeah, it sounded like it, and I did thank her. Sherry Green is the individual that was the secretary. She retired, and then we've asked her to come back, and she came back, I guess, at one of the hottest part of the season, right, or the worst part of the season.
Worse. Well,
yeah.
I was out with neck surgery over the end of the summer and first of fall. I get back, and Norma, my secretary, goes down with
that's okay. Yeah.
Problems.
Yeah.
It's just been crazy. And Sherry's been a lifesaver.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores and Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries. Thank you, sir.
Thank y'all
Have a
very
good
much.
day. We've done 25, we've done 26, 27, and 28. We're gonna move on to item 29, discussion possible action, approval of Valverde County to enter into an agreement with AEP to install 3 transformers.
Motion to approve, Judge.
Second. I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez and Commissioner Flores. Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 30, discussion possible action to approve Broward County enter an
Motion to
agreement.
approve, Judge.
I'll second.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 31, discussion possible action to approve.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 32, discussion possible action.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 33. Item 33, discussion possible action to approve Broward County to enter an agreement with AEP to install more lights.
Motion to approve.
I have a
Second.
motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 34, we've already done. Item 35, discussion possible for approval to on ratification of 60 blankets.
Is there any possible way, about sharing those blankets, Mr. Gus, or?
We got 60 and, we already gave them away. I mean, they're all committed.
Let's do this. All right. I have a motion, Commissioner Flores. Do I have a second? To ratify.
I'll make a second gesture. Okay.
I would greatly appreciate it, not getting on anybody, but we're all getting stuff. Everybody's getting stuff. If, before we start handing it out, that we visit with the other commissioners, to give them an opportunity. I'd greatly appreciate it. I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries. Item 36, discussion possible action to donate 10 blankets to the Roswell.
Motion to approve.
Motion, Commissioner Flores, second.
I'll second.
Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 37, discussion possible to donate 10 blankets to the women's shelter.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 38, discussion possible action on approving a lease between Valverde County, and George Paul Motor Bull Riding on behalf of Bobby Paul.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion, Commissioner Garcia, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? I have a 4-0-1. 4-0 against, 1 abstention. Approving a lease between Valverde County and Del Rio Little League on behalf of Valde Briones.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 40 and 41, we just did. Item 42, discussion possible to approve the addition of a satellite phone for the district attorney's office to be funded from BPU grant account.
Does this have a cost or?
I think the monthly rate is gonna end up about $30 a month, I believe,
What's the motion to approve?
30 to 50. Yes, it's out of the BP.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 43, discussion possible to authorize purchasing agent to advertise for bids for dump trucks. And
Motion to approve.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second
Second gesture.
Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 44, discussion possible action to authorize the purchasing agent to advertise. I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 45, discussion possible action to authorize purchasing to advertise for bids to either repair, replace, or upgrade electrical wiring at the district courthouse. We have some money set aside already within the budget, and we won't know what we're doing until Rand gets in there and figures out where he's going to need to put
I'll
some of
make
his
a motion
equipment.
to approve, Judge.
Second.
Motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 46, discussion
Motion to
possible.
approve, Judge.
Motion,
Second.
Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 47, we've already done. Item 48, discussion possible action to authorize purchasing agent to publish a public notice announcing information on an online.
Motion to approve, Judge.
Okay.
Second.
A motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 49, discussion possible action for approval.
Second.
Commissioner Vasquez made a motion, Commissioner Flores gave the second. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion prevailed. Item 50, discussion possible.
For a later date, Judge.
Second.
A motion, to table, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. We won't bring this back, you'll just later date.
Yes, sir.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Nobody against? Item 50, we've already done. 51, we've already done, and 50. Item 52, discussion possible action.
Motion to approve, Judge.
Second, Judge.
Commissioner, I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Discussion possible action on grant for precinct 4 and other projects for possible funding. We received an email that, $700,000 for precinct 4 was denied. So if that's denied, so how do we, do we start thinking about other projects in order to be able to apply for these funds?
So you may recall that the county submitted a grant application to the Texas Parks and Wildlife Precinct 4 Park. Put some ball fields down there. This is the third try, unsuccessful. So, we probably need to look at something else to try to help Commissioner Flores there and, Precinct 4 to accommodate that, if that's still a priority. I think the problem there, well, with the drought going on and a lot of rhetoric with the water situation, the city of Del Rio, putting in more ball fields and having to irrigate them, just not
gonna work.
Not conducive.
So one of the things that we talked about, was maybe starting the process of running, and visiting with the city of a wastewater line. Instead of having the water, run into the Rio Grande, maybe run that line back up to these fields, and it would also help not only with these fields, but it would help the cemeteries. And then we could continue to run the water where it might help, the fairgrounds. And then even, the schools. Would that be something that might be viable, is to look at what it would cost to run, in order to be able to apply for these grants later on?
You want Carl Esser's opinion?
Yes.
If I was to do it over again, I would do less fields and I'd go synthetic grass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, your opinion matters.
Artificial grass is expensive, but you could do it maybe in stages and do less fields, have synthetic grass, no maintenance, and I think they would buy into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, why don't we do this? I'll put an item on the agenda in 2 weeks. If y'all will bring back projects that y'all want, and then we'll pick a project, and we already know which way we would run with Commissioner Flores'. But if nothing else, something, other projects also.
I think that's good. I think to consider maybe, scaling these projects back a little bit, rather than, it's $750,000. Everybody knows in today's climate, that doesn't buy you a whole lot, But, maybe to consider using artificial turf to where you have less maintenance, no water, it's just, more feasible. Yeah.
Okay. That work?
Yes, sir.
Is the water source the only issue? Or is there other issues that are why this project keeps getting denied?
I'm sorry?
Is the water issue the main issue, or is there anything else as to why this one
We're
continually?
competing with other counties and.
Right. Yeah, drought. If you look at the ones that got funded, a lot of them are using synthetic turf. Yeah, artificial turf, artificial.
In other words, the wealthy county, they have a lot of money.
I got you.
Start knocking out the fields one at a time across the county, just do one at a time.
Okay. Well, we'll put an item on the agenda for a couple of weeks, and then either, everybody can bring projects back. We already have a plan for this one, and then we'll move on.
Next opportunity will be in August.
Okay, that'll work. But it'll give us time to plan. Item 54, Closed session consultation pursuant to Texas Government Code A 551.071, attorney-client privilege, B 551.071, A, contemplated litigation, C 551.072 regarding the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property and possible action in open session thereafter, D 551.073 regarding the negotiated contract, lease, or value of real property and possible action in open session thereafter, E 551.076 regarding security devices, security audits, and/or security agreements. Y'all will give us the room, we'll take a little break, and we'll go into executive session. Thank y'all. All right. Lights on. Sure.
Maybe he's talking to you or something somewhere.
Yeah.
Texas. Maybe he's already in Vacaville too, so.
Okay.
For sure.
For sure. We had tabled one item, they're gonna bring it back, for another meeting. Item 50, no action was taken. 11:16. Item 55, commissioners' comments, y'all have any comments? Item 56, county judges' comments. There are none. Item 57, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0 to adjourn. Thank y'all.